Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Tuesday, September 1st, and we're still not even a month into Big Brother 22. Let's see. So I actually recorded one of these just, a little bit more than 12 hours ago. I recorded one yesterday morning on the drive, like I'm doing right now, and then I just never got to posting it. And then I decided, I didn't like some of the topics I went across. Not that it was bad, but just like, I don't know. And I thought, I'll record one at lunch, and then I didn't record one at lunch, and so then I recorded one in the afternoon on the way home. So you already know what happened with the Power Veto if you listen every day. Quick shout out while I'm thinking about it. Now I'm gonna mess up your name because I don't have it written down in front of me, but it just popped into my head. I have a new patron for my CarCast, and I think it's Kalia or Kalila. I have to look it up, but I at least wanted to mention it that I saw it yesterday, and a note from you this morning. So thank you very much for being a patron of my CarCast. Anyone who has an interest, I'll talk about it later. How's that? At the end of this, I won't go into it right now. Let's talk about other stuff. So, we already know what happened with the Power Veto. And I was kind of last night on Twitter, I was kind of like, there's nothing going on. It's kind of boring. There's no news. Nothing's happening. Look, there are things happening. People are giving me grief about how there is stuff. The feeds are interesting. It's like, they're okay, but it's all about after Thursday. It's the groundwork is being laid for after Kaysar leaves. Kaysar's leaving. Kaysar is not staying around. He's gone. He's done. So what's left is the follow-up to Kaysar going. How are things going to fall out then? So there is some definite gameplay going on right now. There is stuff. I'm kind of tired of waiting for it to get to something meaningful. And so, believe it or not, I'm going to eat some of my words here, but I don't know if I'm happy about eating these words. It would appear that the Wall Yeller actually has had a bit of an effect. In that the Wall Yeller basically said Nicole and Cody are playing everyone. And Ian commented on that late last night, talking to Kevin. Now, this is either theory on his part or he has some outside information. But Ian's implication is that Derek was coordinating some alliances pregame, and that he had set up Nicole and Cody to go in and work with each other, and then Nicole would queue up with all the women, which is a stretch, and then Cody would queue up with all the men. And he even goes as far to say that they would set up Enzo with the brigade to keep him happy, kind of a thing. I mean, it's not necessarily possible, but I don't know if it would. I never necessarily got the sense that that's exactly how things fell out. I'm not saying there wasn't pre-gaming going on, but Ian also. Nicole was to team up with all the women and Ian. So, of course, Ian and Nicole have had a conversation. It's really weird because, there definitely was some pre-gaming going on, and yet we see these conversations in the house, and they're talking like they've never talked before. And I think we're assuming they've never talked before, and I don't know if they're intentionally acting like they've never talked before, or it's just one of those, we talked in chats and stuff, but now that we're sitting here together, it's a different kind of a interaction. I'm not sure. The point is, it appears that the Wall Yeller has at least had a little bit of an effect in that she, I think it was a woman, has influenced the way Ian is at least talking about things. And then Kevin passed that on to, I think, Bailey or Danny. I can't even remember now at this point. I think Bailey. So word is spreading about this theory. And, Danny is also her doesn't have as much clout as she had. She's seen as being a bit of a negative influence and going against things. And they actually, what were they trying to do? So Tyler told Enzo. So this is where it gets. When you have this many people in the house, this is where it starts to make your brain hurt when you try to keep track of all the different Skittles that you're keeping track of, as it were. Tyler suggested to Enzo that he tell Da'Vonne that Danny was throwing Da'Vonne under the bus. I believe that's how it went. So basically, it seems to me that they're trying to make sure that Da'Vonne and Danny are not working together, or Da'Vonne and Bailey are not going to work with Danny. That's the whole gist of this. They're just trying to make sure they keep them from trusting each other. And Enzo did it, and so that whole gamesmanship is going on there. But again, it all comes down to who wins at a household. It all comes down to that. No matter all of these little, plans that are laid, all these little, what do I want to say? Seeds that are planted, little fires that are started. Unless the right person gets head of household, nothing. They quickly go out. They quickly extinguish. And so, I don't know which way it's going to fall. If Danny wins head of household, all of these things that people have been doing to kind of set up Danny to possibly be a fall person go by the wayside. They are going to be coming right up to her and totally falling back in line with her. If Danny wins head of household. Now, that will have been the transfer of, what if Danny says to Danielle, people said you were coming for me. People said you threw my name under the bus, which will set Danny off big time. Matter of fact, Cody found out about this Tyler having Enzo do this, and Cody was not pleased with Enzo, or not pleased in general, that actually blaming Tyler, that their names were getting out. He's like, no, you don't say a name, we don't put our names out there. So, there is stuff going on. I'm just a bit disappointed that the decision's already been made. One of the statements that I quote tweeted from somebody else that they caught was that Ian was announcing to Christmas that you've got my vote. You got basically I'm voting Kaser out, and this is the earliest I've ever made this kind of a decision. Like, oh my gosh, it's a big deal. Ian is, going along with the rest of the house and deciding on a Monday night that that's how it's going to be. There's just, and even Kaser knows he has no chance. So that's the discouragement of the writings on the wall. It will get good. There will be moments of good gameplay and wow moments. It's there. It will happen. It's just not happening this week. There's stuff going on back there. There is gameplay. So that's where things stand. Today's not going to be any different than yesterday. There is seeds going. There are things. There is, ideas being planted. There's thoughts and all this blah, 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 blah. It's just all for next week or the week after that. And we just haven't had any good, intrigue yet, I guess, maybe is what I want to say. So there you go. That's what's up, folks. I'm going to sign off early, I think. Oh, patron. Yeah, so, I don't want to forget that. So, I've said this several times in a row. But anyways, if you're interested, since someone just did it yesterday, if you're interested in supporting me with my CarCasts and my Periscopes, and on Twitter or whatever, you can become a patron. It's a monthly thing for me. Now, there's a different patron for our Big Brother Gossip Show. All right, there's 2 different patron accounts. There's one for the Big Brother Gossip Show that is a per episode charge, if you will. But look, we do. I haven't figured it out yet, but we do 14 episodes usually a year, a total year. By the way, you don't need to unsubscribe at the end of the year or become a patron, because you don't get charged unless we do a show. We don't just randomly charge people. So We do 14 episodes roughly every season. That's just the way it works out, with a pre-show and a post-show. It's been 14. It may be one less this year just because I think it's a slightly shorter season. We'll have to see. But rest assured, at most you're going to get charged 13 times if you sign up for our Big Brother Gossip Show Patreon account. Now, the one that I'm talking about this morning is my personal Big Brother BB Gossip Carcast whatever Patreon account, which I may be up to like 13 patrons now, up from 10 or maybe even 14. I'm not sure. I have to look at the number, and I need to go back and give everybody a shout out again. And someone signed up just yesterday. It is patreon.com, and then just search for BB Gossip. I think if you search for Big Brother Gossip, you'll see both of the patrons show up as ones to check out. But it's patreon.com/BBGOSSIP, and that will take you to my personal little Patreon account. I haven't done anything special for my patrons other than the shout-outs since probably in May or April or June, which was just a little inside info when I was playing in a sequester thing for people that wanted to actually see me, because it was going to be like, hey, you're going to see me on camera for the first time, unless you happen to catch me on a rear instance on a Periscope. So that's it. If you want to do that, you can. Other than that, again, it's Tuesday. Not expecting anything terribly exciting to happen in the Big Brother house other than planning for next week. And then Wednesday, same. And then Thursday evening, we'll finally get around to Kesar being evicted. Sorry, Kesar. I'm not happy that Kesar's going, but you know what? I never felt he's a bit. In some ways, he's a bit too intense. It's a bit too intense for the game. The level of the game, I think, in some ways. He kind of walked in the door just like ready to go hard, and that may have also turned people off or turned people against him, because they could sense that he was ready to go hard and he wasn't necessarily working with anybody in particular. So they were like, well, he's not working with me, so he's working against me, kind of a thing. All right, that's it. I'm done. I gotta go. You guys have a wonderful Tuesday, and stay safe, and I will do the same. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Do it, please. It's just not worth not doing it. Yeah. And pull it up over your nose. It doesn't count if it's below your nose. I saw Ronnie from Big Brother 10 tweet that out either this morning or last night. It's like, yeah, you know, you're breathing. You got two nostrils and one mouth. The germs come out both. The bad stuff comes out of both. And remember, the purpose of the wearing the mask is not to actually to protect you. It is actually to protect other people. It is not nearly as much about keeping things from getting into your system as it is from keeping the stuff that, if you potentially have something, from spreading into other people. So covering your nose is a part of that. Makes sense? I know most of you know this. And I know some of you know this and you just don't like to do it. But look, it's one of those things where the more you do it, the more comfortable you are with it. And you know what? There are different kinds of masks. And any kind of a mask is better than no mask. So find what works for you. Try different masks. I've purchased, at this point, like 3 different masks. My son has made a couple. We had neighbors that made a couple really early on. I have at work, we have the standard, blue and white ones that most people you can get. We have those. I wear different ones. It just depends. I have the gaiters, what's called the gaiters. I got those. I got a set of those a couple months ago when I first went back to work, and now they're saying that those aren't very good. Well, you know what? They're still better than nothing. But I haven't worn them since the papers came out about how, they might not work very well. But I still think, even though the paper said they might be worse because they kind of help atomize your breath. I personally am not talking to people through them most of the time, and I'm usually kind of socially distanced, so I'm usually just wearing them. I'm not talking to them. Boy, there's more cars here. We got more people. I am going to have to... Yep. Definitely more people at work. Definitely more people at work. They're coming back, it seems. Because I am having to drive further into my parking garage. Interesting. Anyways. Where was I? Wear something. Whatever it is, please do it. And be careful. And wash your hands too. And just do the smart stuff. But it's been shown that it seems that the contact isn't near as important isn't as near as capable of spreading as the air. So just be careful. All right, I'm done. I talked for another 2 or 3 minutes about other stuff. Thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and we will catch you on, on Wednesday. Yeah. The next day, the day after Tuesday. See you later, everybody. Bye. There we go.